very much for joining me this morning to talk about leadership. I'm very excited to have you with me. Yeah, I'm going to leap straight in with my first question about your interest in sustainability and maybe how that evolved over time.
So I was very interested early on in biological systems. I was working even as a teenager in the area of AIDS intervention. So, how do you educate people about the AIDS virus? And it was very interesting to understand the system that we call people and communities, and how can you influence that system to better protect itself. But sustainability is all about systems, right? It's all about understanding holistically the inputs and the outputs and the balance. It's a way to introduce the importance of systems, and it is to recognize that the system that I care a lot about is the system of people and how people create change.
You're a leader within the First Movers Coalition. How does that move us from talk to action?
First Movers Coalition is similar vein, trying to make something better, decarbonize our economically essential sectors. When you think about, you've got these sectors that they're called hard to abate for a reason, and you're trying to do something that others have done. The leadership that I'm trying to show is just start, just try to make better, and do it in a way that actually seems not as scary as maybe just stepping back and trying to address the whole problem, which is do something you do every day. You buy. All of us buy. And leverage that buying or purchasing power towards an end that you want to see. And so I think sometimes, people ask, well, Nancy, how do you're trying to do all of these sectors and such. Just keep it simple. Make it better. Leverage something that you already know, and then actually make that credibly impactful. For me, it's purchasing and it's contracts to buy products and services that help abate these sectors.
So, thinking about your previous experience in supply chain, your background, maybe how does that translate into what you find at the coalition? How does that play in your work today? This background.
Well, it's very relevant in the sense that we're seeking to reduce the GHG impact of these hard to abate sectors. So if you're an organization, you're either moving, people or product. From a supply chain perspective, when you look at these sectors and you're saying, okay, it's a multitude of players and it tends to be a value chain or a supply chain, what actually binds them together? And I like to say it's something that's not very sexy, but it's very impactful. To me, it's procurement or contracts, right? What does a company do with another? How do they influence that behavior? Because it's contractual terms. And so for me, my background in supply chain, where I've looked at the actual supplier relationship that is codified in a contract and requirements in a contract, is very applicable to what we're doing with the First Movers Coalition.